Dangerous Mind is a movie that shows how humans can be influenced by the kind of nature they live in. Since it became usual for one of the section of the academy to live in a troublesome environment, those students there have been comfortable living in that kind of system. And as what we've seen, some of the personalities, such as the other teacher and the dean, didn't mind to care about this student behavior and leave it that way. Luckily to have Miss Luan Johnson, who cares about this student. She taught them to think differently. She she let them see possibility and encouraged them to live with dignity. We can't assume one's personality on how that people behave. We can state something to be true without proving them. Our impression on something cannot be proven without validating them. If we're going to judge one thing on how it was demonstrated, it could be false or it could be true. We need to be probable on what we believe. And to do that, we need to look for empirical fact that will support it. This could be David Hume is implying with his philosophy. We can't judge or assume something to be true if it's only based on our reasoning or with the belief and custom we're living in.
Hume position ethics, which is based on his empirist theory of the mind. Best known for asserting for these reasons alone cannot be motive to the will, but rather is the slave of the position moral distinctions are not derived from reasons. Moral distinctions are derived from moral sentiments, feelings of approval and disapproval felt by spectators who contemplate a character trait or action. In the movie, former Marine Lowen Johnson's Michael Pfeiffer lands gig teaching in a pilot program for bright but underachieving teens at a notorious inner city high school. After having a terrible first date, she decides she must throw a decorum off the wind. When Johnson returns to the classroom, she does so armed with a nonsense attitude informed by her military training and with a fearless determination to better the lives of her students, no matter what the cost. In the movie Dangerous Minds tells about their students have different morals and derives from their moral sentiments. Dangerous Minds tells another one of those uplifting parables in which the dedicated teacher takes on a schoolroom full of rebellions, malcontents, and wins them over with a unorthodox approach. Movies like these are inevitably based on a real story. Maybe they tell you that because otherwise you'd think they were pure fantasy.
You can cite some scenes to what David Hume's principle or believes in the movie Dangerous Mind. It was almost an impossible task that was given by Miss Johnson to handle what the deputy principal called special students. Miss Johnson took a lot of time to study so that she can teach these students and take their attention. On their first class she taught them basic karate. Next, she discussed about parts of speech. Students didn't want to listen because it's boring. And then one time she gave an example and indicated the word death. Next class, she gave the students a reward system so they can participate in class. She gave candy bars. Then she took everyone to the amusement park. After that, she engaged her students to read poems. Most of the topics of their poems relates to death. All of these methods were effective. The students liked it and enjoyed going to school because of that. Even though it was effective, the school principal did not like Miss Johnson's way of teaching. The reason is that it is not proper and it is not included on their school policy. On that particular reason, we can see what Hume believes in, that we humans were more influenced by our feeling than by a reason. Miss Johnson did not follow what are in the policy, and she expressed what she feel by her students to be better.
Marian Luan Johnson, who applied for a job as academic teacher, was hired on the spot without knowing who will be her student. Her friend warned him, but she doesn't seem to be bothered. On her first day of teaching, she was surprised about the attitude and behavior of her class, and as expected, she walked out of the room. In the room, she seems hopeless at first, but she thought of this task as a challenge and returned to her work the following day. She really wanted to change the student, connect with them, and be with them. The whole story tells us about how a teacher, in general, on how they work hard just to make us learn and be educated. Also enlighten the capability of human on dealing of these struggling circumstances. The movie shows the leadership is about strength of character, not physical strength, and in the area, women are just strong as men, if not stronger. Luan Johnson is very determined on her job. She is not willing to give up. For every setback, she got up to try again, trying different approach, overcoming the obstacle one by one until she ultimate successful. She is very innovative about everything, using Bob Dylan song lyrics as an introduction to poetry. She encouraged a class of inner city school kids to go on the read Dylan Thomas. She inspired her students by telling them that they can all be students, on which obviously they don't believe. But she told them that at the start of the year, she will give them all an A. All they have to do is to keep doing assignment in order to keep their A. She is generous with her praise, her money, taking the student out of them, fark all at her own expense. All of this characteristic attitude and perseverance she had done for them. She built connection, relevance, and good relationship with. All of these characteristic attitude and perseverance she had done for them. She built connection, relevance, and good relationship with them. This suits good leader with no gender specific, either you're a man or a woman.